Hey everyone, and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know about congestive heart failure, or CHF. This is especially for you if you're prepping for the PTCB exam. Okay, so here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off with what heart failure actually is, then we'll get into the two main types and the symptoms to watch for. After that, we'll talk about why lifestyle is so critical before jumping into a medication masterclass that you'll definitely need for your exam prep. All right, first things first. What even is congestive heart failure? Let's get right to the heart of this condition. So, the easiest way to wrap your head around CHF is to think of the heart as a pump. A really, really important pump, right? But in this case, it's gotten, well, tired. It's weak, maybe it's been damaged, and it just can't push blood around the body the way it's supposed to. And when that happens, fluid starts to back up. That's actually where the congestive part of the name comes from. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what makes this pump get so worn out? Well, it's usually not something that happens overnight. It's often the result of long-term conditions that put a ton of strain on the heart. We're talking about things like chronic high blood pressure, arteries getting clogged up from coronary artery disease, or even the damage left behind after a heart attack. All of these just weaken that heart muscle over time. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. That fluid backup we talked about, it doesn't just go anywhere. Where it backs up tells you which side of the heart is struggling the most. And that leads us right to the two main types of heart failure. And this slide lays it out perfectly. Left-sided failure is the one you'll see most often. Here's a great tip for your exam. Think L for left and L for lungs. It's that simple. The fluid backs up right into the lungs, and that's what causes that classic shortness of breath. Now, if that goes on for a while, it can actually cause the right side to fail too. And when that happens, the fluid backs up into the rest of the body. That's when you see that really noticeable swelling, or what we call edema, in places like the legs and the belly. All right, so we've got all this fluid backing up. How does that actually look and feel for a patient? Let's dive into the telltale signs and symptoms you need to be watching for. Yeah, these are the classic red flags that tell you the heart just isn't keeping up. That shortness of breath, especially when someone's just lying down, that's a huge one. Then you've got the swelling we just talked about, and this deep, constant fatigue. I mean, it makes sense, right? The body isn't getting the oxygen-rich blood it needs. You might even notice a super fast heartbeat. That's just the poor, tired heart trying to make up for being inefficient by beating faster. Okay, this is absolutely critical to understand. We're going to talk about medications in a minute, and they are super important. But, and this is a big but, the day-to-day habits a person has play a massive, massive role in managing CHF and just having a good quality of life. You know, managing CHF really is a team effort between the patient and their healthcare providers. It takes a hands-on approach every single day. We're talking about things like cutting back on salt to keep fluid from building up, keeping a close eye on how much they're drinking, and yep, hopping on the scale every day. And of course, getting rid of habits like smoking, switching to a heart-healthy diet, and finding some kind of low-impact exercise that works for them. And let's zoom in on this one for a second, because it's so important, especially when you're talking to patients. Why weigh yourself every single day? Well, if you suddenly gain, say, 2 or 3 pounds in just a day or two, that's not fat. It's fluid. It's one of the clearest, earliest signs that things are heading in the wrong direction, and it might be time to call the doctor. All right, let's get to the main event, especially for all of you studying for the PTCB. It's time for the medication masterclass. Let's really nail down the drugs used to treat congestive heart failure. Okay, think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet, but don't just memorize it. Let's understand the strategy here. We're attacking CHF from all sides. First up, you've got diuretics, or water pills, like furosemide. Their job is simple: get that extra fluid out of the body. Then, to make the heart's job easier, we use ACE inhibitors like Lisinopril. They relax the blood vessels. It's kind of like making the pipes bigger so the pump doesn't have to work so hard. And to give that overworked heart a real break, we bring in the beta blockers like metoprolol. They literally slow the heart rate down, which reduces the strain. See? Each one has a specific, crucial role to play. Okay, PTCB students, lean in for this one. This is a super high-yield fact you need to know. Lasix, brand name for furosemide, is a go-to drug for CHF. But here's the catch. It can make the body lose potassium. And low potassium is a big deal. It can be really dangerous. So patients on Lasix often need to have their potassium levels checked. And sometimes they even have to take a potassium supplement. Remember that Lasix potassium connection. It's a classic exam question. So let's pull back for a second. What's the main takeaway from all this treatment talk? It's that these medications are all about management. They're fantastic at making people feel better, reducing those awful symptoms, and keeping them out of the hospital. But, and this is key, they don't cure CHF. This is a lifelong condition that needs a lifelong management plan. And that brings us to our final question, and it's one that looks beyond the exam and right into your future career. We know there's no cure, and we know this is something a person has to manage every single day. So, how can you, as a pharmacy technician, truly empower a patient? Because your role in explaining why it's so important to take these meds on time, every time, and gently reminding them about those lifestyle changes, that support is absolutely vital for their long-term health.